Hello, today we will talk about conversational AI with ElevenLabs. ElevenLabs is probably a late entrant into the voice AI space, which has been so far dominated with players like Vapi and Retail. But I think ElevenLabs has been there for a while as a great provider of voices, and both these platforms, Vapi and Retail, have been using the excellent voices that ElevenLabs has been providing. But now, for some time, ElevenLabs has also made an entry, and I think it's really good for us because more the competition, the better the quality of products. So ElevenLabs has a conversational AI, and it has some really cool features that we're going to talk about in this video. So let's dive right in. So this is ElevenLabs. As you can see, this is the 11v3 alpha model, which is powering the text-to-speech models, which is perhaps the best in the world. And then you have speech-to-text, you have conversational AI, which is what we're going to talk about today. So before we get into anything, I just want to tell you that we're not going to be focusing so much on building certain features, but I just want to, or rather, the system prompts for building these various agents. That's not the focus of this video. What I want to talk to you about are certain really cool features of ElevenLabs. So if you look at the documentation, and I would highly recommend that you have a look at this. This is the conversational AI place, and what I really like is this personalization section here. We got dynamic variables where you can obviously pass on information to the voice AI agent and change them on the fly during a conversation. There is a very easy integration that happens with Twilio, and because of that, there is also this Twilio personalization, and this I think is a game changer because you can pass, as the call is initiated, you can pass in the caller ID, the agent ID, the called number, and the call SID. So for an inbound call, the voice AI is already kind of aware of which number it's receiving this call from, and if you have this information, you could then use a webhook to probably gather more information on who this person is, and if further information resides in some kind of a database or a Google Sheet or whatever CRM that you are using, it becomes really nice because then you can have a webhook, and based on that webhook you can pass on information about the caller. So imagine having a webhook which fetches information on, if we have users information, we have the phone numbers, the names, email IDs, account balance, or whatever information that you have, and you could just pass on this number to a webhook. That in turn filters out that, okay, this is Dheeraj who's calling, and this is his email, and this is account balance, and it becomes when a human being makes a call to a voice AI, the voice AI responds by saying, "Hey Dheeraj, how's it going?" And it's very personalized. So that's, I think, a very cool feature. So in order to build this, let's just look at the documentation, which is again excellent. So we got this configure webhook details in the settings page of the conversational AI. Okay, so what we'll do is, firstly, let's just go and add a phone number. In order to add a phone number, you can directly get it from Twilio. Twilio is a great platform providing you numbers. It's pretty simple. This is my dashboard. I already have a few numbers here. These are my active numbers. It's very easy to buy a number. Just click here and follow the instructions. It's a less than a minute's job. I have this number available, and I'm going to just copy this number, and let's go back here. I'll say, okay, import it from Twilio, give it a label. I'll just call it, okay, test agent, and I'm going to paste in my number here. I need to put in my SID, which is on your account dashboard. I'm just going to copy this, go back in here, paste my SID. You will also need the auth token, which is here. Copy this, go back in here, paste it, and you kind of done. That's it. It's as simple as that. So we have this phone number. Now we obviously need to attach it to an agent, but before we do that, we also need to go into the settings and ensure that we have the conversation initiation client data webhook. So we need to add a webhook here where we will pass on this information, the caller ID. Okay, so we'll click on add webhook. We need to give it a URL. For that, we'll use n8n. I'm going to create a new workflow. let's just call this workflow 11Labs. And over here, we'll start off by a webhook. All right. And this webhook, we will use the post method. We will call this call initiation. All right. I'm just going to look at the test URL for the time being because we're testing, but once we go to production, we will use the production URL. And of course, remember to activate your workflow. So for the time being, I'm just taking the test URL, go back in here, and I'm going to just paste this here and add webhook. So we're kind of done here. Now let's go and build an agent. Let's just start from blank. And like I said, we're not focusing so much on what the agent is, just English. You can add additional languages. So this is again a very cool feature where we can have the voice agent speaking multiple languages. The first message will be hello. We will have the customer name, and if you notice, I'm putting it in double curly braces, which basically means this is a dynamic variable being passed to the voice AI from some other means. So we say hello customer name, how can I help you today? Okay, that's pretty much it. And we just say you are a helpful assistant and you must address the customer by his name given as, and now I'm again putting it here, customer name, his email is, and I'm just going to put email, and his account balance is, and I'm just putting in the account balance. Now if you notice, these all get added here as dynamic variables, which is again very cool. And because we're testing, we need to provide certain values for this, so we'll just say DK, email is okay, account balance is 1 2 3 4 5 6, customer name, why do we have to customer namer? My bad here, sorry. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's just save this, and we also need to add a voice. There must be some, yeah, okay, this is Eric. And then what we need to do is we need to go to security, and we need to enable the fetch initiation client data from webhook. Okay, that's what we need to do. Let's just save this, and let's now go to ElevenLabs. So we already have a webhook, and also ensure that you are giving it respond to webhook as the response over here, because we will be passing this information back as a response to the webhook. And then of course we are going to be filtering for the phone number here, so we will add a Google Sheets node, and in this we will get all the rows from a sheet called ElevenLabs, and within this we have users, and I would like to add a filter for the phone number, which is going to be, I think, $JSON dot body dot, I think it's the caller ID if I'm not mistaken. Let's just look at the documentation here. So when we pass on this information, yeah, so we're going to get the caller ID, the phone number is there, but you don't need to do this. You can just kind of initiate a call and build this step by step, but I know that this is JSON body, so I've just kind of written it here. And then once we kind of get this, we want to respond with a webhook, respond to webhook, and we will just send some JSON, and what should go in this JSON is again given here. So I'm just going to copy this, but this is the part which has all the dynamic variables, so I'm just going to copy this, and over here I'm just going to paste it right here. Of course, I don't need these overrides, but bear in mind that this is again a very powerful feature where you can change the prompt, you can change the first message, you can change the language on the fly, So if you know that this number is belongs to a person who speaks in Italian, you could maybe change the language to Italian, which is, I think, a really powerful thing over here. You could change the voice itself, provide a voice ID. We're not going to do that today, but I'm just going to delete the rest of this information. We're just passing some dynamic variables, but bear in mind that you can't change this. I think this needs to be like this. So the customer name will be, whatever we get from, we'll trigger this and see what we get. Okay. So let's just save this. We're testing it. So I'm going to execute this workflow, and I'm actually going to call that number that we have. And let's just see how this goes. Okay.
We are sorry. An application error has occurred. Good.
Okay, so we're getting an application error and we need to figure out why. That's because I think we need to attach a number to our voice agent. So let's just call this agent, I think the voice is Eric. So how do I change the name? Okay, it's just new agent. Let's just go to the phone numbers and attach an agent to this number called new agent. Okay, not very creative, but all right. So now that we have this number associated with it, let's just try again. Ensure that this is triggered. Okay.
Hello, Dheeraj. How can I help you today?
Hi, can you tell me what is my account balance?
Certainly, Dheeraj. Your current account balance is 1,000. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
Can you tell me what's my email ID?
Yes, Dheeraj. Your email ID is dheeraj@example.com. Is there anything else I can assist you with?
No, that'll be all. Thank you. So yeah, as you saw, the agent is able to extract all of this, and this is, I think, a very useful piece of information that we could use to, give the relevant information to the voice AI so that it can, service the customer a lot better. So there are a lot of other features that we will have a look at in subsequent videos. And if you like this kind of content, I would recommend that you head over to our school community, where we talk about a lot of these kind of automations. We do a lot of voice AI. We've got a ton of courses that you could, look at and master. So if you like this, be sure to press the like icon and subscribe, and hope to see you in the school community too. Cheers.